Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today I bring you a review of the all-new Repair Trap skill, which if you're watching this video the day it comes out, released yesterday on August 25th as a reward from the final manhunt target of Hornet for Season 2 within Warlords of New York in the Division 2. Now, if you're kind of unaware with how seasons work, basically you have to go through and clear all of the 4 sub-targets that lead up to Hornet, which is the main target for the season, and then doing that mission within the duration of it, you will acquire the Repair Trap, and then that is a new skill that you have in your arsenal to use. And so today, we're going to go through and see how it performs, how it shapes up to some of the other healing skills, and if it's worth using in a general sense. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so let's take a look at how this thing works. If we go to the repair skill, it says the repair trap scatters a minefield of small devices capable of repairing friendlies in their proximity. Cooldown reduced when traps expire. So, on the base stats here, and I am on a tier 6 healer build just for the prime example here, the cooldown is 41 seconds. That's quite a while. And at tier 0, that's going to be a lot closer to maybe 50 seconds, I want to say. I don't think the cooldown changes that much, so yeah, it's just the skill haste out of my build. I think 45 seconds around is the base cooldown for repair with all this skill repair, 928,000. That's pretty decent. 8 traps, that's 2 at tier 0, you'll get 2 traps at tier 0 with a radius of 0.5 meters, a duration of 99 seconds. That's how long the traps would stay on the ground and wait for you to run through them to blow up. And then a PvP repair of 464,000, which should be around half of what that initial repair is. One nice thing to know with this, what's pretty cool, is that when you overcharge this, you don't really get that much of an increase in stats. You don't get any extra traps. You do get 20% extra skill repair. However, you also get immunizing serum. Traps also provide status effect immunity for 10 seconds. Even though that's not a long time, and I think it's a little situational given how the skill works, it is a really nice bonus to have. It's really cool to see that healing skill is finally getting some status effect counters and just functionality overall. So that's a really cool thing to note and to take into consideration when making your build and what kind of skills you want to use. Let's take a look at how it actually works and how you could use it. So I pull it out, and it's kind of hard to see in the grass there, but you can see the main trap in the middle, and then all of those brackets that go out to either side are where each of the 8 traps are going to land. So if I throw this out, then they're going to scatter to the left and the right, and now they're all there waiting to be popped. You can see all 8 are lined up here, and so if I go to run through them, even if I'm at full armor, you can see what it does, and they're all going to blow up one by one. And I would get the healing from that if I was at anything below full armor. I don't know why these 2 didn't go in the first place. There you go. So that you would get healing from all that. The clouds themselves don't last very long. It's more of a burst healing functionality, but it is a bit delayed if my armor was not at full. I'll go to a demonstration in a second just so you can see how that works. One thing I want to note also, if you just click the button, if you don't aim it like this, if you just click it, it kind of just throws it in a random direction. You go straight up and then they get lined up like that. So it does work to just click it really fast just to put it down, but your teammates might have a harder time finding out where all the traps are. But yeah, that's a general sense of how it works. Let's do some demonstrations, and then I will come back and give my thoughts at the end. Alright, so we're out here in the open world where you get the full benefit of the heal, obviously, which is close to 1 million on this healer build that I'm running, 6 skill tiers, and my friend has about 1.3 million armor, so let's see from no armor how much it would heal him up in total if I throw these all out. He runs straight through. So about 6 charges in, I want to say, 6 bombs, he's at full armor, and then those last 2 are just extra bonuses. So it definitely gets someone with pretty high armor for PvE up all the way. With that cooldown though, I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. We'll talk about it more at the end. Let's go see what it does in the Dark Zone. Alright, so now we're out here in the Dark Zone where I feel like this skill would have the most functionality anyway because of how it works with the line, and you can, charge through and get the heals, but this is also where the healing gets cut in half from its original value, so my friend here is at 1.3 million armor, which I feel like is a good baseline for most PvP builds, you can see right there, and he is at no armor. I'm going to throw this out and let's see how much he gets from running through the full line. It's questionable. This is on a tier 6 healer build like I was using earlier, and yeah, it restores about maybe 80% of his armor, and then it goes on a 40-second cooldown, which is reduced maybe to 30 seconds by the time that the bombs are already out. It's not very good. I don't think it's super worth. Yeah, let's talk about it more back at the base. Alright, well, as for my thoughts on it, I don't think it's very good at all. I mean, in PvE, at least it has decent skill repair. It could compete with some of the other things, but in PvP especially, I mean, that's abysmal. To have a tier 6 build that's fully spec'd into skill repair and not even be able to heal up a 1.3 million armor build to 100%, that's just weak. And I think in PvP it could actually have some really cool implementations if it had higher skill repair, because if you look at how it's set up, you have a full line, right? Imagine if you were hiding out in a corner and you have to push forward to someone for whatever reason, or you want to push forward to some guys that are camping the end of an alley. This would be the perfect skill to allow that to happen. Maybe they're down at that cover and you're low on armor and you want to rush forward to them, but you know you're going to get beamed. Well, this skill would be the perfect opportunity to just charge through, get all that burst healing, and be able to close the gap between you and your enemy. I mean, that's a really cool, concept to think about. But with how low the skill repair is, you're just going to get killed instantly. Like, there's no hope that you could ever survive that because you're getting these tiny burst heals that really aren't significant whatsoever. And in PvE, I really just don't see anyone using this over something like the Chem Launcher or the Healing Hive. Like, there's no scenario I can think of in my head why this would be any better, except for that overcharge capability of status effect immunity. But again, that's almost more pertaining to PvP than PvE. I just really don't see a scenario where this could be useful, more so than any other healing skill in the game, Now, there are two other cool things with this that I want to point out that I think gives it some uniqueness and individuality that could be expanded upon in the future, and that's that you can lay this down, and like the, description said, you can leave those traps for a whole minute and a half. They will just wait there for you to use them. And so that opens the door for some opportunity to have a heal in the back waiting for people to go and use it. But again, when are you going to use that over the healing hive? You could just lay a hive down and that'll heal you the entire time, whereas these things aren't going to move and, come to you. You have to go run through them to get their benefit. So even though it does wait for you for a long time, that is still something that I think needs to be improved upon. Additionally, though, one thing to mention is that you can see on my HUD right now, I've been, those traps have been waiting the entire time, but my cooldown is already almost reset. And that's because with this and the shock trap, any of the trap variants, the cooldown starts as soon as you throw it out, which is a very nice thing to keep in mind. So you could potentially have a scenario where you throw this out, you're waiting for your team to come and use the benefit of the heals, and you're getting that cooldown back the entire time. So if you want to make a skill haste build with this, you could probably get the cooldown pretty low, and people are just able to get constant heals because you're able to throw them out as soon as people use them, So that's a potential, but again, I think the skill repair just needs to go up for that really to be, worthwhile whatsoever. Again, it's cool that it gives you overcharge and that it's in this line functionality so that you can run through and get a bunch of burst heals, but I just think overall the skill as a whole entity didn't come together to make something that's worthwhile running. That's my final conclusion on it, and so I think you guys do with that information what you will if you want to go through the manhunt and get that. I don't think right now it's in a state where it could be more beneficial than any other heal skill in the game. And that just about does it, guys, for my review of the all-new Repair Trap skill. It's definitely unfortunate that the first new healing skill we've ever received since launch of Division 2 is pretty bad, but I think there is a little bit of hope because obviously TU11 is right on the horizon, the PTS is starting up in the next few weeks here. There is definitely potential for the devs to buff it in the PTS, and we could see a buff to the whole skill pretty soon. I think a lot of people are picking up on the fact that it's not very good, and so I've already seen posts on Reddit about it. I think the devs will get wind that we are not huge fans of this pretty soon, and so I do think there is some hope for it to make a comeback, because like I said and pointed out in my demonstrations, it has some pretty cool potential. It has the line functionality, it has, the cooldown going as soon as you put it out, the status effect stuff on overcharge. I mean, it has potential. I just think that skill repair really needs to be buffed up. That's the one thing that's super lacking on, and that could make it pretty good if they were to go in and look at it. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Maybe they'll mention it on State of the Game this week or in the next few weeks. We'll just have to wait and see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you can be updated every time I upload. Head down to the comments and let me know what you guys think about this skill. Do you have it yet? Do you think it's even worth doing the manhunt for? I'm curious what you guys' thoughts are on it, and so yeah, let me know everything you have to say about the new Repair Trap. Thanks everyone, hope you all have a fantastic day, and until the next one guys, RogueGold out.